إن الحمد لله إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره. نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام، إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، فإن كل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار، وإنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين. I greet you all with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessing of Almighty Allah be with you all. I'd like to welcome you all for continuation of our series concerning marriage in Islam, Azzawaaj fil Islam. Again, this is segment number 12. And to recap what we stated yesterday about women who are forbidden for a man in marriage. It's not because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permitted us to get married, and it's not because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had put in us the desire for the other sex, that means we can go fulfill it in any means or any ways. There is rules and regulation that have to be taken in consideration by a man as well as a woman, by the family, by the guardian, by everybody who is involved. And we start to talk about women whom are forbidden in marriage. And we said there is more than one reason to forbid a man to marry a certain woman. And we give example about a close relatives, what we call maharim, or that related to you from a first degree of family relationship. We give example about your stepmom as an example. A man could not marry a woman whom his father had married her. Doesn't matter if the father still alive or dead. If he married or he divorced her, this woman became to such a person as a mother, so he could not marry her under any condition. Also, your own mother, the mother that she gave birth to you, is forbidden for you to marry her. Your daughter is forbidden for you to marry her. Your sister, doesn't matter if she's a full sister or a half sister. That means a sister from your father or a sister from your mother, she's still your sister. You could not marry her regardless, under no condition. Also, your aunt, which is the sister of your mother or the sister of your brother, your father. Both of them are forbidden in marriage. Your niece, the daughter of your brother or daughter of your sister. Okay, so again, this is the family. This is a family, and you as a mahram, and it's haram and it's forbidden to marry them. As a result of this, when they travel, they take one of you because you are forbidden to marry her. Under no condition you will be raised sexually by them or try to act in wrong way with them, because the relationship that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made it, you have to respect it and to honor it. Okay? And this, the hurma is abadiyah. What we say by abadiyah, that forever. So your niece, doesn't matter how old she is, if her mother die or not, if her father die or not, if she been married before or not, this you could not marry her under any condition. And the man is called mahram for her. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, and we understand that the choice of Allah is the best choice. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ قِيلًا وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حَدِيثًا. No one better than Allah in words or in speech or in ruling. So we follow, and this it. Okay? Now, somebody said, but this my niece, I never saw her, and we never lived in the same country, so we did not really, and I like her so much, and I desire her. Still, doesn't matter. Okay? Like I said, under no condition can be married between a man and his aunt, or a man or his mother, or a man and his sister, or a man or his niece, or a man and his aunt, or a man and his grandmother, or all this. All right? Those people are supposed to be like a blood relationship to you. Those people, they care for you. Those people that you have a different type of love that develop between you and them is not a sexual love, is not, but is a love of a family, a love of a relationship, a love of kindness and concern. It never can turn to, unless you understand the person is something wrong with them. Okay, mean mentally, all right. Now they sick, this is a different story. I'm not talking about sick people. Okay, and Islam came to clean the society from all kind of filth and impurity and wrongdoing. Okay, and under no condition can be marriage with those people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made these people to be a protection for you. And also, you know that sometimes there is separation happen in the marriage, and sometimes it can be a hatred, and sometimes there can be anger. But Islam is so concerned about the ties, the family, the womb ties, okay, that never be disturbed under no condition. Okay, so we want this kind of love and the blood relationship to continue forever, and this is what you call silat al-rahim. But a wife, something happened, and she may be mad at you all her life after you divorce her. Okay, she can go about her life, you can go about your life, and she can remarry, she can hate you, she can love you, doesn't matter. But your aunt is going to always be your aunt regardless. So we don't want to bring anything to disturb the relationship between you and your daughter, or between you and your sister, or between you and your aunt, or any of this maharim as we stated. There is other reasons, you understand, but only Allah knows why, and we could not count the wisdom of Allah. Some of it we know it, and some of it we don't. Relatives, because future generation will be weak. Yes, this is a discovery, or this is a medical information, or whatever it is. We don't confirm it, we did not deny it. Never future generation will come to be strong, or to be whatever it is, or get a weak. We could not touch those people. We could not, understand, desire them. We could not look to them with eyes of lust. We have to understand this is a part of me, is a flesh, part of you, like you and your mother. The same thing, you understand, you and your aunt, you and your daughter, you and your sister. You have a ties that will be forever, regardless what happened. Right? A woman needs somebody who supports her, to be like a lawyer for her, but to be like a lawyer for her. But if you marry to one of those people, who's going to be the defender? Okay? So, nevertheless, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we had forbid this for us, and we shouldn't be try to touch this by any means, or to say this was an old fashioned, or this because was that time when the revelation came, these people was this and people was that. No, this is one deal, under no condition. Okay? Under no condition you can have a sexual relationship with your mother or your daughter or your sister. Marriage or not marriage is totally haram. We have another type called بالرضاعة. محرمات بالرضاعة. That means they are forbidden due to the fact of breastfeeding. That, as example, your mother had breastfeeding this little girl when she was a baby. Doesn't matter if her mother had milk or not, her mother was alive or not, or for whatever reason that your mother had breastfed this girl became your sister by rada'a, by breastfeeding, by suckling. You could not marry her. You could not marry her. Alright? So, and we are not in this subject, but to give you a details little bit, if it's not because your mother breastfed a child one time, this will be final. It have to be 3 or 5 times, 5 meals. Okay? And somebody may say nowadays nobody breastfeeding. Okay, people drinking, you understand, go to food line, go to Walmart and buy this milk, but we still have to understand that a woman that breastfed from the same mother or from the same woman, this man and this woman could not marry each other. So this woman that breastfeeding you became your mother by nursing. Now her daughter or any other girl that she breastfed them became your sister by nursing. And you could not marry this type of people also. Okay? The Prophet ﷺ said, يحرم من الرضاع ما يحرم من النسب. This hadith in the collection of Imam al-Bukhari and Imam Muslim. What is forbidden to you, family relationship, is also forbidden by suckling. So the same way you could not marry your own sister or your half sister, you could not marry a girl who been breastfed by your mother. or a woman that is not your mother or her mother but breastfed both of you, okay, now you could not marry this girl. Okay, now when I go marry a woman, now we have something called al-musahara, that mean like brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and all these things. So as a result of this family marrying from this family, the son of this family marry a daughter of this family, so now there is a certain relationship between these two family. We extend now, we're branching out, to understand, with the families. So there is something now called, as a result of this, the mother, your mother-in-law. Your mother-in-law, before you marry her daughter, she is a stranger to you. But if you marry this girl, okay, now her mother became mother-in-law to you, okay, became a mother-in-law to you. So as a result of this, you could not marry this woman, your mother-in-law. If a man make intention to marry a girl, and after this he did not consummate the marriage, neither he went with the magistrate, and he changed his mind, he can marry this woman. But if he engaged already with this girl and became a wife for him, now became what? Became a mother-in-law to him, because he already had made the kitab, or make the aqd, or the marriage agreement with her. Rabiba, if you marry a woman that been married before, and she have a baby, a year, 2 years, 3 years old, whatever, all right, this became your Rabiba, became your daughter, became like a daughter to you. So if this child grow in your house and you married to her mother while she was a baby, now this became Rabiba, is considered a daughter to you. You could not marry her. Also, you could not marry your daughter-in-law. Your daughter-in-law, your son, get married to a girl. If your son divorces this girl, you could not marry her. If your son divorces this girl after he married him, this while he is alive or after he died, this became a daughter-in-law. You could not marry her under any condition. Also, you could not marry two daughters in the same time, two girls, two sisters. You could not marry two sisters from the same father, the same mother, and now you marry one, because a man can get more than one wife. But as long as you marry this daughter of such lady, you could not marry her other daughter. Two girls who are sisters never ever can be under the same husband. If he divorced the girl, or that the girl, his wife died, this is a different case. But never ever two sisters can be under the same husband. Also, You could not marry a girl and go make proposal to marry her aunt. Doesn't matter, auntie here being the brother, the ladies from the father side or the mother side. We call it, we have in Arabic, we have Amma and the Khala. But in English, I don't know that there is a difference in the name. Both of them aunt. All right? But the sister of your father, this is Amma, auntie. And the sister of your mother is a Khala. Okay? Nevertheless, you could not have a woman, a wife for you, and after this, you go to get a second wife, and this second wife will be her auntie from any side. Also, you could not marry a woman who is married, or a woman that is still in her iddah. When a man divorces his wife, there is a waiting period before another man can propose to her or marry her. So as long as a woman under a husband, you have no business with her. Doesn't matter how much she's pretty, how much you love her, she is under somebody else. If it happened that the man divorced her and you want to marry her, this is a different story. But a woman who is married, she is married, she under a shield and protection of a man. You have no business to try to spoil their marriage so you can marry her. Neither you can marry her after he divorced her before she finished her waiting period. Should we stop here for today? Is too much rules and regulation? If any question concerning this. Also, you could not marry. We're talking now about the list of those people you could not marry. Al-Mushrikeen. Mushrikeen, those people who are not worshipping Almighty Allah, and they believe in multi-gods, or they worship idols or any other the creation. And this is different from the Christian and the Jewish. Okay? People who is mushrik, although that Christian and Jews, they commit shirk, all right, according to our terminology. But when we're talking about making difference between two different groups, one called mushrik, worship idols, or worshiping cows, or worshiping a monkey, or worshiping the trees, or worshiping the sun, this mushrikeen, polytheist. Jews and a Christian, okay, they're supposed to be believing in oneness of God, okay? But when he says 3 in 1 and 1 3 is no more, he understands it's a big shirk also. But nevertheless, Allah made exception. Allah had made exception for the Jews and the Christian, and this is different from al-mushrikeen. And Allah said, وَلَا تَنْكِحُ الْمُشْرِكَاتِ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنْ, and do not marry the mushrik women until they adopt faith of al-Islam. So you are not supposed to marry a mushrik woman, neither a Muslim woman can marry a mushrik man. Now, concerning the Jews and the Christian, can we marry? Yes. Even she's saying that Jesus is Son of God, even if she say that Jesus is Son of God. Allah know what they saying, Allah know about their what they acting, but Allah make it lawful for us. But I would say very strongly, regardless whosoever going to reject what I'm saying, you could not do this nowadays. Why? Because the harm that may come out of this can be worse than the benefit. What I mean by this, if you live in Islamic country with Islamic law, which I don't know where is this, okay? I don't know where. If something happened between you and your Christian wife or Christian Jewish wife, and you go to the court, you're going to be given the custody of the children. She will have right of visitation, of course. But you're going to be the main person that educating, disciplining, and monitoring them. Now, when you're living in a place like in America, and there is no Islamic law here, and 99% of cases when there is a divorce, they give the mother the custody of the children. So that means by going to make contract for marriage between you, a Jew and a Christian in America, you are exposing your future generation to kufr and ilhad. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had ordered us, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. So as long as you know, and I know about many cases, I have enough 47 years here in America, between New York and Boston and South Carolina and all these places, and I deal with many marriage counsel conditions. I know what's going on. People will lose custody of their children due to the fact that something happened between him and his wife, and she will take them by court. And if you take these children, kidnapping them or stealing them, and they fly to Arabia, they will bring you from Arabia, and they will throw you in jail, and the children will go to their mother. So this, as a result of this, I would say that it's haram for a Muslim man to marry in America or any non-Muslim country, or any country that doesn't enforce the Islamic law for custody. If a man get married, he is committing a great sin, and this marriage is haram. They call it haram لغيره, okay? It's a terminology. We are not going to play with terminology, because somebody else will come and say this man doesn't know what he's talking about, because what is haram is in the Quran. Yeah, you say there is a haram, and there is a haram as a result of the eventually outcome comes as a result of this. So if there is a country, majority and law and everybody Muslims there, and there is Islamic court and the custody of the children, if there is a separation between the Muslim husband and the Christian or Jew wife, now we say yes, you can do this. Other than this, you could not. You could not. You are exposing your future generation and future family to kufr and disbelief. Alright? Inshallah, hopefully that. Can a Muslim woman marry a kafir? No. Can a Muslim woman marry a Jew man? No. Can a Muslim woman marry a Christian man? No. This is haram. This is not Islam, and this could not consider as a marriage. This is fornication and adultery. Okay? Of course, the Imams, they understand, they give a lot of support for this. Okay? And inshallah, we're going to stop here today. And subhanallah, even among the Muslims, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling you not to marry any kind of Muslim. And he said, إذا أتاكم من ترضون دينه وأمانته أو خلقه فزوجوه إلا تفعلوا تكن فتنة في الأرض وفساد كبير أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. If a man comes to you that you are pleased with his belief and his behavior, give him your daughter in marriage. Can you bring about a person that is not a Muslim and you tell me that he is a Ahl al-Kitab? No, it is lawful for a Muslim man to marry a Christian or a Jew with the conditions that said, but it's not lawful for a Muslim woman to marry a Christian or a Jew. Check Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah number 2, verse number 221. And with this come to closure for today, inshallah. And also look to Surah Al-Mumtahina, verse number 10. Alright, anybody have any comments? And last thing I want to, so we can close this session and we start something different. Okay, we have two things more, but time is almost for Salah. Unless we can squeeze it here. We can wait for tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you for watching. If anybody have any comments, correction, I don't mind to hear it. Like I always say, I give you a minute to think. And even if we did not get a chance to correct it, please, you can let me know. I will correct it in the next class if I made a mistake, inshallah. Comments, correction. But nevertheless, my brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, Allah gave us a lot of women, okay? We have a lot of, don't say, oh brother, oh, it's forbidden to marry this, it's forbidden to marry this, forbidden to marry this. We have about almost 15 categories you could not marry. So Allah, look how much women in the dunya. How much women in the dunya, man. Women in number is more than men now. This is one of the signs of the day of judgment. Okay? So safeguard your religion before anything else. This is the most important thing I can tell you. Be concerned about pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through your marriage and doing the right thing, and don't understand get closer to the fire, because you're going to be burning yourself, inshallah. With this, come to conclusion for today. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Muhammad Adly from Columbia, South Carolina. We have the 12 sessions already about marriage, and we'll continue about this course, inshallah. If you miss any of them and you want review it, please go to YouTube or check my Facebook, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. الله knows best.